welcome to part 2. Part 2 will consist of having computer programs, of course. We'll pull these up on my computer. There is FFsplit, Fraps. These are the ones I use, by the way. Fraps, what else is there? Sorry, I gotta dig through this. The Game Capture HD, which came with the Elgato. Open Broadcast Source, and XSplit. I believe those are the 5 I use. I can't see anywhere else. Yep, those are all the ones I actually use. So we'll go with XSplit. Now, XSplit is, of course, a free program that everybody uses, and the best way to get it is probably Twitch has already given it to you if you already use Twitch. But if you already go to just xsplit.com, you can just download it from there. Usually people from Twitch use it. Usually people that make video game videos and stream them use Twitch. There is one drawback. If you don't pay the 3 months for $15, you don't get to maximize your frame rate to 60 frames per second, and it blocks you out of certain features. The other thing is the the program itself does draw out a lot of your RAM. This is something that you need to realize. The Elgato program does the same thing for me, but not as much as other programs like XSplit. However, it is taking the game and running it to the computer. While you're in the computer, you have to select it like as a window. If not, there's ways to select it as a window or just capture the game. This is where you have to analyze and go, okay, I have this amount of RAM. It takes this amount of RAM to make sure it takes this amount of RAM that will run it. For example, Battlefield 3 takes a minimum of 4 pieces of RAM to run it all. Maximum, of course, would be 8, but even so, I would advise anyone who's streaming Battlefield, even Battlefield 4, go directly to 16, maybe even 12. Just put it up there to be safe. Now, running a video game like WoW, you should be able to run it, I think it's like 1 gig of RAM, and then you could still run it with maybe 4, maybe do 8 just to be safe. Don't know why you would do that, but I try to keep ahead of myself so that the computer can process and run the game at the same time. You have to be able to run it. The other thing is another thing you have to analyze is your processor. If your processor is a piece of crap, I'm sorry, you have to stop there. This computer I have right now is an Intel Core, like quad-core i5, or just in general, just an i5. This is important. If you're doing something like streaming and playing games at the exact same time on your computer, or even recording, an i7 has been advised to use. Like a lot of people say, you should probably use it. Or an AMD. An AMD like quad-core is usually good. You'll probably get those for a little bit more expense, but they do a little bit better job, I think, because the processor built in can actually multitask versus an Intel, from what I hear. Now, what else is there I need to look at for you? Got on top of the tongue. Now, running a game, there's a lot of protocols you have to go through. You have to make sure you're not losing frames per second, and you have to make sure that your stream is not losing frames per second. Your computer will be probably a powerhouse if you're doing that. Like, it'll be clocking 100%. You gotta figure out that medium range where you can get it to do both. Now, I can't say that you can't play games and stream at the same time. You can play almost any game as long as your computer can process the speed fast and also use the RAM, because the RAM will mostly ties into these, like this thing. This ties into my RAM. Internet connection is another big thing with both, just the console and PC. If your internet is complete dog shit, which I know mine is, but that's a whole nother story because they owe me money. I don't know. it's something to do with my internet. Any which way, your internet speed has to be decent. Like you can't ping a lot. Your download speed doesn't matter in this case. Your upload speed needs to be at least, I would say probably 5, like 5.00, like up there. Does it matter? Yes, this actually does matter. Right now I run at 0.90, like 90, like 0.90. This is horrible. You could do YouTube videos fast and all that, but when you come to streaming games, you're going to eat up a lot of your internet because you're trying to send that out, and if you have low internet, it will hurt. I have realized even with like 1.00 you'll be fine, but your safe bet is if you're paying for fast internet, you have to at least have over 5. If not, go to 4. Now, I will advise you to do... what else? I don't really know off the top of my head. I hope my tips kind of helped you guys out with this. In the meantime, I hope, if you have any, you know what, I don't even know. If you have any questions, just post a comment below and I'll help you out with it. This is Tater, signing off.